Bye, Lindsey. Bye, Lindsey Graham. From the closet to the coffin. Real seamless.
Well, she seems lovely. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, your home for independent and nonpartisan analysis and commentary on news, media, politics, internet culture, and more. And we're going to react to a kind of disturbing video that's going viral from a comedian and actress named Margaret Cho. Though there's nothing funny or comedic about the thing she just said that's getting a lot of attention. She is an interesting figure. Can't say I'm a fan, can't say I'm super familiar with her work, but I did read about her a little bit, and apparently she's a comedian of some note. She is ultra woke, I think it's fair to say. She describes herself as pansexual, which is just an instant red flag that it's just you're bisexual and you just want extra attention. It's all the same. There's no meaningful distinction or difference, and you're just clearly, addicted to the identity politics of it all. So no shade to any pansexuals in my chat. I mean, a little shade. Y'all know I love you if you're loyal viewers, but I stand on business. Anyway, though, she decided to mark the passing of Republican Senator Lindsey Graham in a dignified and nuanced fashion where she critically discussed his legacy, but showed, basic empathy and decency towards him and his family. You thought. You really? This is a Brad Polumbo video. You thought she was, if you believe that for even a second, then you're almost as delusional as she is. No, she decided to be really nasty about it. And so without further ado, let's just watch the video and then we'll go over some of the comments because unfortunately, there's a large swath of the public that feels similarly to this lovely lady. Let's watch.
Bye, Lindsey. Bye, Lindsey Graham. From the closet to the coffin. Real seamless. Real seamless. Also, Mitch McConnell. So it's Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham. It does happen in threes. Hope.
Oh, you seem normal. You seem well adjusted. Just casually finding joy in the death of other human beings and in the suffering of their families. That's definitely people, well-adjusted people with good relationships and hobbies and a proper identity rooted in a fully formed emotional self. That's definitely what people like that do. That's not a red flag about you at all. And it's also funny to me. I mean, I listen, I don't know for sure whether or not the gay allegations against Lindsey Graham are true or not. I don't really care. It is funny how quick people who are, supposedly, remember, this is a pansexual sexuality ally, how quick they are to, just weaponize that to be cruel to someone who just died. Regardless, like I said, this isn't comedy, so people will be like, oh, she's a comedian, you're upset by jokes. She's not doing jokes at the moment, right? This is not like a stand-up special. She's not even telling a joke. She's just being nasty. And I do think when that goes viral, it is perfectly fair game to critique. And then you don't get to hide behind, like offer up serious and nasty political analysis, then hide behind, oh, I'm just a comedian. No, it's like you kind of have to decide whether you're doing comedy right now or you're talking about politics. And it's clear to me she unironically talks about politics. We'll get to some more of her stuff because she is truly cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But I think wishing death on people is not good. It's not decent. It's not civil. And I think it's not good for your soul. Like, I actually think it's even just purely from a self-interested perspective. I think when you find yourself descending mentally into the emotional mud like this and finding joy in other human suffering, I think you take yourself to a dark place that becomes destructive and hurtful even to you. So even if you don't care about these other people at all, it's like letting yourself go there and get dark like this, I think is bad for you. You could, and once again, I will reiterate, criticizing a public figure or politician's legacy and what they stood for is fair game. Taking joy in their suffering and death is not. And that's not that hard a distinction to draw, I think, for decent, sane, well-adjusted people. But Margaret Cho is clearly none of those things. And for her to be like actively wishing for Trump to be next, it's like you seem unhinged. And I don't think you've also really thought that through. Because arguably, from the progressive perspective that she clearly inhabits, JD Vance would be a lot worse because he's simultaneously more to the right of Trump on some issues and more competent and more ruthless and less easily distractible and incompetent. So I really don't think that these people who cheer on the death of Trump from a progressive perspective, I'm not sure they really have thought that through or have thought about what JD Vance as president would look like instead. I don't know. Maybe they just hate Trump so much they're just overcome with that loathing that they can't think straight. But this person is not thinking straight, as clearly evidenced by another video she recently published, which was after the Supreme Court upheld state laws restricting women's sports to only biological females and denying biologically male trans athletes from participating in women's sports. After this extremely predictable and uncontroversial on its merits. I mean, obviously people found it upsetting, but it's not a hot take that states are allowed to have women's sports be only for females. And it's clearly the intention that was established by Title IX, and the Constitution's Equal Protection Clause, I don't think was ever remotely intended to, nor does it give in the text anywhere any basis to access sports by your gender identity rather than your biological sex, which is actually a protected characteristic. So this is a totally normal, commonsensical opinion, and yet here is how she responded to it. By seemingly threatening violence. I'm not joking. This person is deeply, deeply unwell. Let's watch her video about the Supreme Court's decision from a few weeks ago. Let's watch.
On this last day of Pride, I want trans people to know that you have armies behind you, people who are ready to fight to the very end to make sure that you are safe.
Excuse me?
We are trying to do this. We want to do this. We're going to do this, not because you're weak. It's because you are precious. You are loved. Love you.
Hello? FBI? I think we got a threat you might need to look into. Potential domestic extremist. What do you mean you have armies ready to fight to the last over sports? I mean, she's acting like something truly horrific is being done to trans people, which I would never support. And all it is you gotta sort sports by biology in states that have voted to do that. It's not even a nationwide mandate, which would be also not that controversial from a political perspective. It'd be debatable from a legal perspective, whether the Supreme Court could edict that nationwide, but it's not even that's what happened. And it's all just about sports. And she's acting like you have an army of people ready to go to war and die with our last breath to stand up for your beautiful right to swim as Leah Thomas. Okay. That's scary. I mean, I think she just supports it. I was going to say, I don't know if she realizes it, but I'm sure she does, and she just supports it. But there is a dangerous left-wing violent activist movement that overlaps with the trans movement. And I'm not talking about all trans people or most trans people. I'm talking about a certain subset of radical activists who believe in violent resistance and basically terrorism, and they have committed attacks and killed people. And frankly, that's what the accused killer of Charlie Kirk was allegedly motivated by, was his hatred towards trans people. So it's crazy and reckless to be fomenting this kind of existential rhetoric and talking about armies and resisting and fighting and all of this stuff in a time when people are taking pot shots at presidents and people are assassinating political commentators. That is reckless, unless you just agree with it and support that, which I think is probably the case. I don't know. I don't know what's in her heart, but I would suspect that's actually the case for Margaret Cho. Is she doesn't care if people are fomented to violence by the things she's saying, because she probably is that extreme if her absolutely unhinged posts are anything to go by. Yet she has hundreds of thousands of people following her. She has comments. I'll read a few from her first video. This is from the video celebrating Lindsey Graham's death. Hope core, heart emoji, smile emoji. I have a little extra pep in my step today. What a joyous day. And these are all from TikTok commenters on her video about someone dying and wishing for someone else to die next. This is bleak, y'all. Like, this is dark. This is not normal or okay. And some of these people have lost the utter plot. I don't know what to do about it, but I will call it out because I do find it contemptible and disgusting. So that's all I really can do. And that's all I really have to say about this very disturbing woman who's going viral once again for saying something bat insane. Notice how she's never going viral for a joke or saying something funny. It's always for a creepy, borderline terroristic TikTok rant. Like, that's like not a great, I don't know. I wouldn't be proud of that personally, but I'm sure she wears it as a badge of honor. You guys, please let me know what you think in the comments. Do make sure to subscribe to this channel if you aren't yet. Do hit the like button while you're at it, and do consider becoming a channel member if you can, just by hitting the join button or the link in the description or pinned comment. It's the best way to support me and my work. I'm trying to be independent and fair and call out everybody and not pander, but if you pander to one side or one extreme, you could just make millions of dollars and get millions of subscribers. I don't do that, so I do need support from viewers like you. So do become a channel member to support me. I also do videos. I just released one today. I do videos where I react to member comments and questions. So if you want if you want your question for me or your roast of me or anything featured in a potential video, you can go ahead and become a channel member, then drop it down in the comments. With that, guys, I guess we'll leave it there for this delightful and heartwarming video, and we'll be back with more real soon.